Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Force, and here today we are going to be taking a look at the open beta of the upcoming MMORPG Skyforge. This is my badass berserker chick. She is the business. Alright, let's bring on the UI there. So we're going to take a look at Skyforge today. This is a game that I actually played quite a bit back in early beta some months ago, and I did some coverage. I talked about first impressions. I covered a couple of the classes. I believe it was the Berserker and the Lightbinder. And I played it enough to be like, alright, I've had enough, because it started to get very, very repetitive. Mainly, there just wasn't a ton of missions available in the game, and that's something that I believe has changed now that the game is in open beta. So I'd like to come back and show you some gameplay and just cover some of the basics here in this video, and then in some follow-up videos we'll go more in depth, and I might actually make a second impressions video, something that's quite literally titled Skyforge Second Impressions, now that we're here in open beta. So let's cover some of the basics. What is this game? This is a action, like combo-centric even, MMORPG. It's a free-to-play game. It's in open beta right now, and it's a hub world game. Many people have compared this to something like not PlanetSide 2, Phantasy Star Online 2, in that you don't go from zone to zone naturally, just like walking from one zone to the other like you do in, say, WoW or in Guild Wars 2. You go to different zones from this world map here, and it's basically different missions that equate to different locations that you can go to, and you can do things like when you do repeated missions, you're able to try to go for S rank to give you additional rewards. Now all these little gem looking things, these sparks, as you can see, spark of destruction, balance, creation, insight, and transformation, these are basically like the experience points in this game. So I'll exit out of here and I'll go ahead and hit K for my Atlas. So this is character progression. Now the game has, I don't even know how many classes right now. I think when I played it, it had 5, and the base classes were the Cryomancer, Paladin, and Lightbinder. And then you could also, if you purchase the if you purchase the Founders Pack, you could unlock the Berserker class as well as the Gunner class, which I don't even know where he is. But this is called the Atlas, and this is basically the progression of your classes. So let me zoom on in here. This is my class right here, the Berserker class, and I can zoom on into him, and we can go and click on into, it starts back here. So when I make a Berserker, this is the first node that I have, and as I play the game, I unlock these sparks, which give me access to different abilities. So I spent some of these some green sparks here to unlock stamina. I spent some blue sparks to unlock luck. I spent some red sparks to unlock damage or proficiency. So you get these sparks doing missions like the ones that I showed you on the map, and you use this currency, this XP/currency, to level up your character, getting new abilities, getting more base stats, etc, etc. So when I started off, I basically only had my left and right attack, and then my ability, which was bound to 1, which is like this whirlwind ability. And then as I did more missions, by going to this map and going to the different missions available, I progressed further. And then you can progress so far in your class that eventually, so once I get to this progression and I unlock what's basically like my ultimate ability, Gladiator, this then allows me to go up into this Ascension Atlas, and everything that you just saw on the previous screen is all located right in this little circle, right in here, actually in the center spot of the circle. And then I can progress from there and go through all this map to unlock additional classes. Like the next class I want to unlock is the Witch, or I could progress in this direction to try to unlock the Knight, or I could try to progress over here and no, that's not a class. I think there's other classes somewhere. There's other classes all over this damn thing. There's a Slayer over there, Archer over there. So it's interesting, and the game really tries to have you playing multiple classes with your character. It's not about just having one class. So I can actually go, hey, let's see, I believe, yeah, it's character. I'm the Berserker right now. I can all of a sudden switch up to any of these classes I have access to. So I could just go like this, and then all of a sudden, whoops. Oh, I want to actually show this to you. So let's go over here, because it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool concept. All right, so I'm gonna go back to my character, which I don't even remember. Okay, and let me switch up to the Gunner. So I'm gonna click on this, and then I'm gonna switch. My weapon's gonna change, my abilities are gonna change. Now I'm a gunner, and I've got access to my gunner abilities. So it's the game really tries to have you constantly playing all these different classes, so much so that there's actually a weekly cap on the experience you can get per class. So if you play enough in a week, like if I play my Berserker enough, I'm gonna eventually want to stop and try one of these other classes because I'm gonna stop acquiring XP for my Berserker. So it's kind of interesting. Some people may find that as a negative, but I like that it's encouraging variety. Now, I've done a lot of talking about some of the stuff in this game. You probably actually want to see some gameplay, right? Yeah, that'd make a lot of sense. So let's go ahead and go back to my character. I believe it is, and switch back up to the Berserker, because this is the class that I've leveled the most. This is a class that I'd like to show you as I play, and we're going to go to one of those missions. I actually have a mission right now to go back to Port Naori. Now, I've already been here a couple of times. Now, the early portion of this game actually has you doing the same missions a few different times. This was one of my biggest critiques when I did my first impressions, is that I spent the first 8 hours literally doing 6 missions, going to 6 zones, very similar to this. This is actually one of the smaller ones, but they're all relatively small. I spent the first 8 hours going to these 6 zones over and over and over again. Now, it is my hope as I play this game more in the coming weeks that they have changed that, and that the first 8 hours isn't just 6 missions repeated and then going back to that hub world that we were just in to pick up quests and then to come back out into one of those 6 missions. I hope they took some of that stuff to heart. So we've got a timer here of 15 minutes. Difficulty is considered hard. And we've got a few bonus things which can get us additional sparks, which again, that's the XP to level my character. So I can kill 12 or more enemies, kill more than 12 enemies until the fight is over. And then I need to search every nook and cranny for the caches. I don't know where those are. I'm gonna have to look around. So we're actually gonna have to spend some time here because I want to make sure that I get as much of this as possible. Now let's take a look at the combat. Let's talk a little bit about combat. A lot of the classes are combo based, and this one is one of them. So I basically have this left attack, and I can just keep spamming it, and she'll do a few different things with it. And basically do those 4 attacks in a row, and the last one gives her some more of her resource. Now, I can just do that, or I can mix it up. That's my left attack. If I go left and then right, it's a stun. And then if I go left, left, right, it's a spin. So I'll show you that here. So if I go left, left, right, it does an AoE spin. And if there's multiple enemies, it would hit them. If I go 3 lefts and a right, it does a heavy single target attack. So 1, 2, 3, right. It's a very strong single target attack there. And then this one is a interrupt. And then, like I said, the 2 plus right is an AoE attack. Now, obviously, that's not something that I typically want to do on a single target. But yeah, so I can come up to these guys and I can go left, left. Oh, that's I missed the second swipe. So we go left, left, right, and there it is. That's that AoE attack. Great for when there's multiple enemies. So those are just my left and right mouse button. There are also special abilities. You notice I've got a 1 through 4 bound on my bar. My number 2 here is a jump. My number 1 is a whirlwind, which I'd like to get a few people here. Oh boy, come on, just get a few people aggroed. So get a couple of people aggroed up, and then do the whirlwind, which sucks people in and does a lot of damage. Mine's actually a special version of the whirlwind that every 45 seconds it does this AoE firestorm instead of just the normal spin. You see no fire there with this one. Something else my right attack also does is if I hold it up and let go, it releases like a wave of destruction that it increases the damage that enemies take from my attacks. Now, I haven't been looking for those caches, so I'm gonna keep my eyes open here. I'm not focused on, I mean, I'd like to get this done in the 15 minutes. I probably still will, because this is a very small zone, but I'm more focused on just sort of talking you through it. So there's my big holding down my right attack, weakening them, and then I run up to them and do my big spin attack. And then that move you just saw me do on that guy was basically an execute. I don't know what the cooldown is. I think it's something like, oh gosh, I don't even know. I think it's something like 30 or 45 seconds. Every 30 or 45 seconds you can do that execute move. I actually need to look in, I believe there's some crates back there that the caches can be in that I haven't checked. I know, it's been really long. I've only played this game since coming back for the open beta. I've only played it for, I want to say like 2 or 3 hours now. So there's lots of stuff that I'm still need to remind myself of. I've got a mount here. I did buy the Founders Pack back in the early beta many months ago. And it looks like all that stuff is carried over, which I mean, it should, right? So I'm glad it did. Looks all that stuff is carried over, and I ended up getting early mount. I got a bunch of extra resources early on, and I believe I also got this special thing of weapons. At least I opened up a special thing of weapons. I'm assuming that's where they came from. I don't know if it was just an open beta thing or not. So here's a little mini boss. A little bit harder than the normal enemies. You'll notice he's got 10 stacks of health bars, so I'm going to do a couple things here. First, we're going to start off doing this charge up attack. Boom, just like that. That's going to weaken him for the next 24 seconds or something, or about. The weaken of time is showed up right there underneath his health bar. And I'm just going to chew through his health bars. I know it said hard, but I'm actually pretty strong at the moment. I think part of the reason is because of those weapons and resources I got. They basically allowed me to level up, and I could just hit very hard. Now this is because this is one of the early instances, all the stuff is pretty easy. Like this boss, he only has one telegraph attack, and then he's got this ability that basically buffs him up. Okay, here's one of those spheres. So I'm gonna go ahead and examine that, thank you. And doing these little side things, again, this is all just about kill more than 12 enemies until the fight is over. I don't know what the F that means. Does that mean kill 12 enemies within a single battle? So I want to try to like round people up? I don't think I'm gonna get that one. I think I missed my opportunity by killing all that stuff early on without doing that until the fight is over. The F? That doesn't even make any sense. All right, I'm gonna wind up some guys. I think there's 3 in each one of these things here. So we'll go 3, 6. Let's see. This is gonna be 9 over here. This might be suicide. I don't even know. That's gonna be 9 right there. And then we're gonna go for 12 over here. Where's the egg thing? There it is. I don't know if these things even de-aggro. I hope they don't, because I need to kill 12 or more enemies before the fight is over. Did I just get one of them? That wasn't more than 12 enemies. How does that count? Whatever, I'm not even gonna... I don't frickin' know. I don't know how that counts. It doesn't really make any sense to me. Kill more than 12 enemies before the fight is over. Alright, maybe it's just 12 consecutive enemies, and I just reached my number 12. So I'll just kill all the enemies in this map. And that should hopefully do it for me. I think that might be what it is. That might make sense. So the combat in this game, I gotta say, I really like it. Like, I think they've done a good job of making it feel impactful. In many ways, I mean, I talked about that combo system, so you probably just get that information just from me discussing that. But in many ways, this game just feels like an action game to me. We've got those combos. We've got a variety of different skills. I've showed you the skills that I have. Oh, the last one I didn't show you is this 4, which that's just a little AoE attack. And the more enemies I hit with it, the more reduced cooldown it has. I also have the ability to level up a skill right here with K. I don't want to do this quite yet, though, because I don't believe... Oh, I do have enough. Okay. So we do have enough regular class resources. I don't want to use up... These are Sparks of Evolution. They can be used up for anything. So that little helmet icon, that's my Berserker experience. So... Sometimes from missions, you're going to get these different sparks, these different color sparks, the red, the blue, and the green. But then you also get these class experience points. And like I said, there's a cap on how many of those you can get in a week. So I can actually go into my currency here, and you can see class sparks. I'm capped at 7,000 class sparks for a week. And then I believe it's also capped per the class. And then there's I'm capped at there's basically limits each week. And I don't know, I'm actually okay with it because I'm a person who plays multiple games. So to have the option, to have a game that I can not sync every hour of the weekend to, I actually kind of like that. But I can see why people who play very hardcore wouldn't be too keen on that. But yeah, we've got these class sparks, and those are used to unlock certain parts of the class skill line in the Atlas per the class. So there's class sparks for the Berserker and every one of the classes in the game. Like I said, I think there was about 5 when I played before. Now they're, I don't know, they're somewhere up around 10. Sorry for not having the exact number for you, but I know there's a lot. There's a lot right now. in the game. I am definitely missing some of the locations of those special items that I'm supposed to be looking for, but whatever. We're just gonna keep going. I don't want to spend this whole video like searching around the map for the frickin' stuff. I think that'd be silly and pretty boring to watch, so I'm not gonna waste your time. You're welcome. Okay, we've got the execute available to us now. I could have sworn in the past that I saw some of them. They change every time you do it, these sort of treasure hunt ones, but I remember sometimes there are ones being around the boxes. I suppose it's entirely possible that there are some more. Oh, here's one. There we go. So actually, maybe I'm not out of luck, because here's two. And you'll notice these like boxes and orbs that are on the ground. That's basically the loot that you get from enemies. You have to make sure that after every fight, a couple of things will drop little health globes, similar to how it works in Diablo 3, and then also those spheres and boxes, which those are those are loot. That's a different loot and currency that you'll get from that. All right, so here's a second little mini boss coming up here. Oops, I have to clear these eggs too. Almost forgot these. So I'm gonna do my little right click hold down, then we'll do my 4 ability, and then why don't we just do a 1-2 right attack. There we go. Could also just done my whirlwind effect. That would have easily cleared them, but I don't know, I like to try to do some different things there. I like to do some different things. Let's hop back on my mount, courtesy of my founder's pack. Make my way up here, and here is another one of the bosses. I'm gonna check really quick for those caches. There might be one somewhere over here. I don't see it. Okay. All right, time to fight this guy. So we're gonna start off by debuffing him. Gonna get a little close. Hold down my right attack. Boom. And then let's go up and smack him in the face a little bit. He's about to do a charge attack. We're gonna dodge that. So I haven't mentioned that, but there is on the right-hand corner of my health bar, you'll notice that little running man icon. That is your ability to dodge attack, and the different classes have different versions of that. Some classes have like a blink, basically. Some classes have like it's like a somersault type ability, but it's all essentially the same thing. It's a move mechanic. Actually, no, excuse me, I take that back. I don't believe, I could be wrong, I don't remember, but I think the tank class, which was like the paladin or something, I don't think that he has a traditional move. I think he just basically has block. His ability to block attacks, which, you know, would kind of make sense. All right, let's go ahead and debuff her. It's almost running off, so there we go, back up to 24 seconds now. And I don't want to stand in these puddles because that hurts. So yeah, there's a number of charges that you have to use that dodge. You can see it's up to 2, so I can go ahead and cancel this animation with the dodge and then move into another attack like that. So there's just different things you can do with it. And then also above that is that little lightning icon. That's called Impulse. So the classes have impulse damage, and impulse scales off a certain stat, so there's different builds where you might want to stack your impulse damage. But the impulse it's like a burst crit, and certain attacks for the different classes will activate that burst crit. And some classes are more bursty than others. Like the class that I'm using right now, the Berserker, is a very bursty class. I think another one of the very bursty classes is the Kinetic or the Connect. So, but yeah, there's a couple of really, really bursty classes that are supposed to be really good for endgame PvE. I'm playing one of them, and besides this, the next class I'm going to focus on is the Witch. So like I mentioned, you can switch between the different classes at any time on your character. Like I could even do it right now. I keep hitting the wrong damn thing. Like I can even do it right now. I can right now switch to the Paladin. And then if I play as the Paladin, any experience or sparks that I get off of these mobs will be switched to the Paladin class. So here's my Paladin. Oh, the Paladin does have a charge too. And it looks like it buffs his shield because it started glowing. And then I've got this AoE bubble. So yeah, at any point, I could just switch it up. We could totally just switch it up, and that's a very cool thing that I like about this game. And so what'll happen is eventually I'm going to completely cap out my Berserker. Like he's going to be full. I'll use all the sparks that I can on leveling him up. Oh, they finally added voice acting.
So long. Port's blockaded by sea monsters. Refugees can't board any ships. Damn beast wounded my navigator.
Calm the captain and promise to clean up the port. I will.
So do it already. If it wasn't for me, the Kelps would have captured the ship long ago. Too bad I can't leave my wounded comrade's side, or I'd join the fight.
Alright, that's enough. I'm done talking to you. So a lot of these side missions, initially in the early portion of the beta, weren't voice acted, so I'm glad to see they're working to get more and more VO into it. I definitely think I missed the last cache, and I definitely don't think that I'm going to get that second bonus. So we're not going to get the bonus sparks. It's funny because back when I played the early beta, I always got all of them. I'm like, yeah, duh, you get all these. Like, why wouldn't... Only, you know, only derps don't. But right now, I'm pretty derpy. I remember so very little, and I probably walked right by it, to be honest with you. It could be in this last area. If it isn't, whatever. I'm not overly concerned. Yeah, it's definitely not here. Oh well. This is the final boss of this area. So, if I wasn't chatting with you and trying to talk with you about the game, I would say this would typically take me like 7 to 10 minutes. That's like the average time I expect to do one of these port runs. This one's obviously taken me much longer for the expressed reason of me talking with you and trying to walk you through some things in this game. But on average, these side missions take anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes. Some of the maps are bigger than others. Like I said at the start, this is easily one of the smaller maps, like without a doubt. And I also, unfortunately, don't think that this is one of the most visually pleasing looking maps. Like, I don't really like the... I mean, it's fine, but I think there's some zones that look a lot better that I like much more. And I'll probably show those to you in like follow-up videos. Here's my Firestorm attack. Doing a ton of damage to her. We already got her down to half health. I mean, these bosses sometimes can take a very long time to actually work down, so getting her to half health this quickly is actually pretty impressive. No, nothing impressive is going on here. Especially my inability to freaking get the... Oh, I'm at 9 out of 12 for the second thing. I need her to summon more dudes so I can kill 12. Where are... I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna finish this. We're not gonna worry about those side missions. We didn't get it. That means we don't get the bonus sparks, but frankly, I don't care. Let's go ahead and peace out of here. Quest completed. None of the bonus stuff got, so we got a B rank. I'm so used to getting S rank that it makes me sad to see that. Alright, so that mission is complete. We can go ahead and talk to our quest giver over here. He wants me to chat with him. Oh, no, actually, for this particular quest, I need to go to the, this is like, I guess we'll call it like Global Communications Hub. The AILANet. Where we can chat with other people, share information. All I need to do is just hook up to it, though, and that's it. And then we can talk to her. She's going to say, good job on the quest. We're pushing back the threat. We are the Skyforge people. All right, next place is going to Oki Island. Which one is Oki Island? Is that one? Is that the first one that I went to? Because I didn't really like Oki Island, I think. Well, we could go to the archipelago. What was Oki Island? Oh no, this isn't, okay, this is a very different one, very different look and feel to it. And this is actually one of the zones that I like a little bit better, so I'm happy to show you this. And I'm interested to see what the modifiers for this one are, because I'd like to actually hit S rank here. Oh, not one.
They completely overpowered us.
Not one. Oh, that's right. I think you need to go through each one of these zones twice before they actually have the bonus things. But it's a lot of what you saw. Find these caches hidden throughout the zone. Defeat X number of enemies. Use certain abilities a certain number of times. Like use and execute X number of times. It's all stuff like this. But this is a zone. I like the look of this zone much better than the zone we were just in. So I'm happy to show you this. Okay, we got enough class there. And we don't have enough. We'd have to use up some of our Sparks of Evolution, and I'd prefer not to, so I'm going to just wait. I'm going to wait until we have enough of our class Sparks. So, you know what? Like I said before, the game's a lot of fun to play. Like, I like the combat. It does get a tad repetitive. You can see the skill bar at the bottom there. There's only so many number of slots, and it mixes up a little bit with the combo system. but I think sort of where the variety is really going to come from in this game is the fact that you'll have numerous classes maxed out pretty simply. It's not actually, it doesn't take too long to max out an individual class. So you'll have multiple classes maxed out, and depending on the situation, you'll be switching between the classes all with the single character. That is really cool. So I think that's where a lot of the variety is going to come from, and I'm looking forward to at least doing that. What I'd at least like to do, I like playing this game enough so long as they've fixed some of the concerns of variety in the first 8 hours. Like, I hope I'm not just doing these same 6 missions. I hope I'm not just doing the same 6 missions in these first 8 hours the second time around, like I did in the early beta. And if not, I'd like to keep chugging through this, and I'd like to show you, you know, hey, I've got 2 classes fully unlocked. I'm switching between it here and here in a different mission because of different boss fights, whatever, you know. I'd like to get to that point. I like playing this game well enough that I think that that'd be a lot of fun. So I suppose if nothing else, stay tuned. Expect some more Skyforge coverage from me. My current plan is to level this guy up until I can reach the top half of the Ascension Atlas, and then try to go towards the Witch, which I heard is a monster for solo PvE, and I'm all about that. Like, I'd love to burn through these missions at half the speed that anyone else can. That sounds like a good time to me. And yeah, expect some more videos, and expect my second impressions video at some point as well. We're gonna go over here where there isn't fire. It's pretty fun. It's an open beta, so give it a shot if you like. Oh, be careful. They freaking do like peer-to-peer whatever. They use up your bandwidth to share downloading of the game for other people. It's something that you can switch off in the client. So do that, because it's freaking rotten, and you don't want. You just do that. Do that if you can. That's a smart idea. I would suggest that. But beyond that, it's pretty good. All right, what am I doing here? Oh yeah, I gotta enable the camera so they don't see that I'm coming or whatever. I have no idea. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a good afternoon. I'll see you later. Let's get on my sick mount. Oh, never mind. This guy's right here. Let's get off my sick mount and do a sick attack. And then jump into them. And then do another attack. Oh, yeah. Get out of here. You get out of here, you. Oh, by the way, is she not the most badass looking? Just freaking so sick. So sick. Such an amazing looking character. Boom. Whirlwind attack. Suck it, nerds. Get away from me, creepy hand. I will have none of this.